Episode number 24, Injuries and Skeletons. Nick and Dan got stuck in urgent care because Nick is a klutz. They were going to leave you with an amusing clip show, but instead their co-host, Carl Mr. Skeleton Winslow, stepped up to the plate. There's comedy, an Exham Priory video, show information, details on how to meet Carl in person, and general fuckery.
So this is Nick, and that's Dan. Hi, Dan. Instead of being at the Rust Belt Chop Shop today, we are taking me to urgent care because I have to get my shoulder reset because I'm an idiot. Yeah, laugh up all you want, buddy. This is gonna fucking suck.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm a klutz. I tripped down the stairs, caught myself, and yanked my arm out of the socket. Thought I popped it back in, but apparently I was wrong. Woke up today, can't really move my right arm, and I'm in excruciating pain. Dan, have you ever dislocated your shoulder before?
Once. It sucks.
And did you have to pop it back in yourself?
No, I didn't have the know-how, so I went all limp shoulder to the ER.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know how to pop your shoulder back in, normally this works. Apparently this time I just couldn't get it. Don't listen to the movies, ever. Where, you know, if you've seen, was that Lethal Weapon 1?
Yeah, where he just runs into walls all the time.
Yeah, Lethal Weapon 1 is a terrible example of how to pop your shoulder back in. You don't smash it against something. That's terrible for it.
It's an upward twisting motion.
Yes. Outward and twists up.
Yeah.
It hurts like a bitch. You can do it yourself. I recommend having help if it's available.
Yeah.
But don't listen to the movies. And in all honesty, unless you've had it done several times before and you know the drill, don't try it yourself. But this is Nick and Dan. Signing out.
So let's be clear. Nick is a bumbling idiot. He can't walk downstairs. He can barely talk half the time. If you guys could see all the bloopers that we had from this fucking show where Nick was fucking up lines that he doesn't even have, you'd be amazed. In fact, here is a key example about what the fuck I'm talking about.
That's staying in. I'm the editor. I choose what cuts, what gets, what. I'm the editor, and I choose what's get. Yeah,
I know your IP address.
You see what I'm fucking talking about? Jesus Christ, he can barely fucking talk. Who the fuck lets this guy out in public? You people keep giving him a live microphone and he sings at you, if that's what you want to call it. I mean, Jesus Christ. But here's the thing. When you put a guitar in his hands, sometimes he's actually eloquent and knows how to work out words and sentences and other such things. I dug into his computer and I found this.
Breathe out so I can breathe you in, hold you in, and now I know you always been out of your head and out of the rest you sang. And I wonder, I sing along with you. Everything could ever be this real forever. Everything could ever be this good again. Only thing I'd ever ask of you, gotta promise not to stop when I say when she sang.
Did you see that long-ass fucking hair? Nick used to be a fucking dirty hippie. And for some reason, he's wearing Superman pants. I don't really understand that. Also, can we talk about the fact that he is just sitting in front of his computer recording himself at random? Does anybody else find this to be kind of weird? I mean, I know that I'm odd, but still, seriously, Nick, come on. Now, speaking of my weirdness, you guys all know that once upon a time, I was a writer of Dino Erotica. Well, what I didn't tell the boys is that I used to write other types of stories too. So I'd like to share with you a couple of my favorites that I have written over the years. We're going to call this segment Literature with Carl Winslow. The first one up is known as The Sun Is Now My Friend, You Fucks. It's set in space with two stupid-ass kids on a space station. I don't know where the fuck all the adults are. That's not for me to decide. But what happens is that while they were cruising around the sun, a fucking space vampire comes out of nowhere, not affected by the sun whatsoever, and he tries to eat these fucking kids. Now, I don't know why anyone would seek out children, honestly. This character just kind of came to me out of nowhere. But he tries to eat the fucking children. I'm not gonna tell you how the story ends. You're gonna have to find this shit and read it for yourself. Now up next, we have another wonderful story called Either You Boys Want a Coke. Now this one here is set in some creepy ass dude's basement, in case that's not obvious by the cover. Now you would think that this involved kidnapping children, but it doesn't. This is actually a terrible role-playing game gone awry. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, Carl, you've obviously read Gerald's Game. No, fuck you. I wrote this shit before Stephen King even had an idea about what the fuck role-playing was. That dumbass idea-stealing motherfucker. But these two kids are in the basement. They get tied up by this creepy-ass dude because they said, please, take us down in your basement. We want to play with you inappropriately. Well, shit goes sideways, and to find out what happens, you're gonna have to read this book. The next tale is a story about a dog named Gonna Let This Mother Burn. Now I know what you're thinking. It sounds destructive and it advocates violence. Well, you're fucking right, because this dog, he has seen some goddamn shit, and he is sick of it all. And this story tells you all about how he takes his vengeance out on all the stupid-ass motherfuckers that he has had to deal with every day of his dumbass dog life. But, again, to see what he sets on fire and how he sets things on fire without having opposable thumbs, again, you're gonna have to read this shit for yourself. Now, for a short period, I was even writing for G.I. Joe when they were putting out some paperback books with Scholastic. My versions were quickly pulled from the shelves because apparently they were too avant-garde and too realistic. Like this one here, called I Fucking Hate This Job. Now this is a G.I. Joe that I can identify with. Not Snake or Snowball or whatever the fuck all their names are. This one right here. I fucking hate this job. And I'm pretty sure that all of you that are listening can identify with this too. So I suggest you go out and you pick up this fucking book too. Just so that way you know that you're not alone in hating your shitty ass 9-to-5 job. Now this next tale that I wrote comes from something that I have been through myself. I drew from personal experiences with Taco Bell. And Taco Bell destroyed my anus. Now granted, I put this kid that you see on the fucking cover through a lot of literal shit during this story. And Elsie Lennox even illustrated it. I honestly don't know who the fuck she is. I never met her. They just said, hey, this broad's gonna come in and she's gonna draw pictures for your fucking books. And I looked at my publisher and I went, who the fuck wants pictures for a story called Taco Bell Destroyed My Anus? Well, I'm sure that you can draw conclusions into what the content was of these drawings. Again, these books did not make it very long on the shelves. In fact, most of them were burned in what became known as the Taco Bell book burning of 1988 in the Midwest. For those of you that haven't heard of that, well, don't fucking worry about it. If you can find one of these books, good luck. It might be worth money, or it might not. Honestly, I don't give a shit. So that there was literature with Carl Winslow. I'm glad that I was able to share with you some of the tales that I have written over my life. Some of them drawing from deep personal experiences, some of them coming from my drug-fueled, crazed evenings out and about on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, I know I rag on the two idiots that are usually here, but every once in a while, they do something really fucking awesome. Now, this past week, they went out and they played a show at Good Bar. Now, I know they showed you guys all the clips from the other bands, but what they failed to show you is something from their set. Now, I was able to find some footage and piece it together. So what I'm going to show you right now is Exham Priory performing their catchy little ditty known as Suck.
Nothing but you suck.
So that wasn't all too bad whatsoever. Occasionally, those guys do put on a really good show. And if you haven't had the chance to catch them, check them out. They're called Exham Priory. That's spelled E-X-H-A-M Priory. I'm not spelling that shit out. It's not my fault that these guys decided to pick a name that is barely able to be pronounced by anyone. I told them it's a terrible name. Other people have looked at them and gone, what the fuck is that? But for some reason, they like it. They're stuck on it. I don't fucking know. Now, I do know that next week is the season finale. And the boys will be doing some fun stuff. I know they've got a guest or two lined up. But after that, they're going to have themselves a big-ass show with Mikhail Graves. Now, I know what you're thinking. Carl, Nick ripped his shoulder out of its socket. How the fuck is he going to play? Well, in case you haven't heard, Nick is kind of a high-functioning alcoholic. So what we're going to do is lead him to the venue with a beer. And then we're going to give him a lot of beer, and hopefully he'll forget that his arm is fucked up, probably injure himself some more. Wouldn't be the first time. And they're going to rip through that fucking set like it's nothing. Now, in case you need details, here is the fucking flyer. So again, that's October 11th. Make sure to get a hold of the boys so that way you can get tickets for $15 instead of $20 at the door. Because why the fuck would you want to pay $5 more if you don't have to? You can reach out to Nick and Dan by commenting on this video, looking up Exham Priory on Facebook and sending them a fucking message. Occasionally, they respond to people. Actually, that's not true. They always respond to people because they like to talk. They like to talk a lot. Usually, it's either Luke or Nick, the two idiots that can't stop talking on stage. But I digress. Now, I know what you're waiting for. Every week, we always have these things featured, where some yahoo named Tony tells truths on Facebook, or at least that's what Nick thinks. So now I'm going to give you Truths with Tony.
Sex ed did not mention how much apologizing there would be. To give you some examples, I'm sorry that it didn't last longer. This never happens to me. I'm sorry. Sorry about putting it in the wrong hole. Sorry that it's not larger. Sorry about your damn luck. I'm the one that you get to wake up with today. Laying next to the one you love and watching them sleep is a gift that, crap, she's waking up, out the window, out the window. Now this is something that I completely understand and I've been there before. I don't know if you have, but I suggest if you don't want to be here, lock your fucking windows at night.
So I gotta tell you, it's pretty great not having those two assholes here in the chop shop with me. I know that I can ornery with the fact that they never bring me out anywhere, but every once in a while, it's nice to just be left to my own devices. Now, in case you forgot, next week, when they play out with Mikhail Graves on October 11th at the Mohawk Place, they've promised that they're going to bring me out of the chop shop and bring me up on stage. So if you want to see Mr. Skeleton, Carl Winslow, in person, and maybe even get an autograph or take a photo with me, make sure to grab your tickets from Nick, Dan, Luke, and or any of the other bands that are on the bill. So that way, you get to hang out with me all night. It's going to be an amazing time, and I can't fucking wait. Now guys, we've had a wonderful time this week. I know that Nick and Dan weren't here. They wanted to be here, but again, Nick's a fucking idiot and fell down the stairs and hurt himself. So because of that, they weren't able to film on Sunday. Instead, they sat all afternoon in urgent care. Now, according to Dan's Facebook, those at urgent care apparently forgot what urgent means. Personally, I think that they just realized what two schlubs they had in their office, and they decided to make them fucking wait. But we've come to the end of the episode. I know, usually it's longer because those other two idiots prattle on. I'm not going to keep you all that long. So this is Carl Winslow, getting ready to sign out. But don't forget to click on Matilda right here, subscribe, and tell your friends. And again, have a great fucking Tuesday.